That was crazy. We witnessed the best Barcelona of the last 10-15 years. It was both the prime Barca of Pep Guardiola and Luis Enrique. Hansi Flick, what have you done? Today we talk about the best 70 minutes in the recent history of the Blaugranas and outline the plan for how we can defeat Atlético in the return match. Let's go! Hansi Flick made several important bets for this match. Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres came on from the first minutes. Barcelona needed more intensity in the number 9 and false 9 positions, while Robert was planned as a joker. Something in this plan definitely worked. Atletico's lineup was predictable, no surprises. The start of the match was an absolute failure for the team. Madrid easily exploited our weaknesses. Let's analyze the first conceded goal. Griezmann draws the attention of Pedri and Olmo and elegantly passes to Barrios, who is completely alone, taking advantage of Barcelona's high defensive line, and delivers a pass to the run of Alvarez. He finds the open Antoine, who with a precise cross sets up Julian for a shot. Szczesny saved it. Everyone was late to react to the opponents, and it was everywhere. It got even worse. Griezmann and De Paul played around Frankie, the cross followed, and Pedri and Olmo failed to react. Alvarez was left unmarked, 0-1. From this angle, you can clearly see how Atletico's movement confused Pedri and Dani. And as for Balde, who was he marking and what was he doing? That question remains open. Barcelona immediately tried to take control of the game, but looked not confident enough with the ball. As a result, Jules Kounde's mistake led to the second conceded goal. The Frenchman passed neither to Cubarsí nor to Frankie, and ultimately this wayward pass became a gift for Alvarez. The Argentine destroyed De Jong, drawing 3 Barca players to him and delivering a perfect pass behind Inigo, and then Griezmann scored his first goal against us in 8 years. The goalless streak was broken. Balde and Szczesny were outplayed. It's also worth noting that Frankie should have fouled Alvarez. Perhaps it would have been a yellow card, but at least we wouldn't have conceded a goal on the counter-attack. Sometimes the Dutchman lacks basic defensive midfielder settings. Casado would have played this moment simpler and more correctly from a defensive standpoint. These two moments highlight the weaknesses of our structure and its risk. If we do not stop the opponent's counterattack at an early stage, we have huge problems. In both situations, our defenders were always late to react to the opponents, and Szczesny couldn't save. 0-2 in the 6th minute. We were not ready for that, nor were we ready for the best version of Barcelona that the whole world saw later. From about the 10th to the 72nd minute, Barca had an outstanding stretch compensating for all their mistakes in this match. 13-3 in shots, 4-0 in score. Atletico couldn't lift their heads under the pressure, losing the ball immediately after the center restart following the conceded goals. I don't remember the last time I enjoyed watching our game this much. Lamine easily dealt with his zone, but his first attempt was frankly unsuccessful. In the 12th minute, the Blaugranas should have opened their scoring. An excellent vertical attack involving Pedri, Rafinha and Ferran ended with a poorly executed shot from the Spanish forward, who created this episode for himself with a brilliant movement. However, Torres' finishing was terrible in this match. Ultimately, the first goal came from the flank of Lamine and Kounde, who easily destroyed Gallagher and Galán. While Atletico's central defenders and midfielders could do nothing with Jules' pass and Pedri's elegant finish. A remarkable attack. Pedri scores for the second match in a row against Atletico. It smelled like a comeback. And let's highlight the through ball from Lamine. God, how beautiful and effective it was. We also have to give high praise to Ferran's movement at this moment. It drew attention away from Pedri with his run. Just look, great job. It was the 19th minute of the match. 2 minutes later, we had completed the comeback. A top cross from Rafinha from a corner and Cubarsí overpowers Barrios in the aerial duel. That was Pau's debut goal in the blue and garnet jersey. Our congratulations! Cubarsí kissed the badge, Lamine's push, Flick's joy. A moment of pure Barcelona euphoria to remember for all of us. In the 32nd minute, Ferran should have put Barca ahead. A crazy press led to a poor pass from Llorente to Torres, but the forward shot very weakly at the empty net. This is one of the episodes that prevented us from winning this match, where we were undoubtedly the better team. Just look at the post-match XG statistics. It really seems like Simeone made a deal with the devil in the last two matches at Montjuic. In the 41st minute, we finally took the lead again. Another cross from Rafinha, and Barcia along with Inigo win their duels against Barrios and Llorente. Many talk about Pau's play in this episode, that he held Diaga, allowing Inigo to get space. But it was a very smart block, so the referee nearby didn't call a foul. But how beautifully Inigo played with his head. Pure art. In the 48th minute, Lamine again destroys Galan, but his impressive shot is saved by Musa. Moving on to the events of the second half. We note Szczesny's save in the 52nd minute after the failure of the high defensive line. It's important to have such a goalkeeper in matches like this. In the 57th minute, a magical attack involving Frankie, Ferran, Olmo, Pedri, and Rafinha. How beautiful it was! The real and great Barcelona has returned. Magic on the field every match. In the next attack, there was a robbery. A wonderful run by Lamine was stopped by a foul in the penalty area. We believe this was a 100% mistake by the referee's team. Reinildo made a mistake, and this is clearly visible from this angle. However, the referee paid no attention to this moment, and the VAR room was doing who knows what. Another episode that prevented us from winning this duel. It's worth noting that the referee's position in this episode did not allow him to see Reinildo's touch. In the 72nd minute, the high defensive line finally played perfectly when it left Llorente and Sorloth offside. Bravo! And just 2 minutes later, we scored our fourth goal. Pedri isolated Lamine, then made an easy run and assist to Lewandowski between Lenglet's legs. High-class football art. Lamine is a genius, and how he destroyed the duo of Lino and Reinildo. Lamine Yamal is unstoppable, and Robert found himself in the right place and the right moment. 2 minutes passed, and Lewandowski should have sealed the game. Rafinha provided a perfect run and cross, but the pole missed the target from a killer position. This episode is undoubtedly on the Polish forward's conscience. Such moments cost the team dearly. And that's exactly what happened. Alvarez, Correa, and Llorente tore through the tired Barcelona in the 84th minute. Everyone was late to react. Flick noticed this and substituted Pedri and Rafinha, who had given 200% on the field. Fermin and Eric came on, but they could no longer change the game's dynamics. Madrid rose from the ashes like a phoenix, and we made a regrettable mistake. At first, we were lucky in the 88th minute when Szczesny stopped Correa's shot. Well, in the 93rd minute, there was another failure of the high defensive line. Lenglet threw behind Koundé, who slipped, and then no one could stop either Lino or Sorloth, who again scored in the last minutes against Barcelona. Some Norwegian curse on Barca. 4-4. An undeserved draw in a match where our team should have won 5-2 or 6-2, as Inigo Martinez said after the match. What conclusions can be drawn after such a game? Pedri is everything for Barcelona. After his substitution, the team could not regain control of the game. Without him, when Barca thought more about running than cohesion, Simeone's team began to grow, gaining that confidence that Pedri and Lamine Yamal had taken from them. Because there are no secrets that talent cannot reveal, and when that talent is not on the field, the opponent gains strength. The last 20 minutes of the match were the worst. 0-2 in the score, 1-3 in shots. Flick's substitutions didn't work, and the team stood still. Perhaps they exhaled after a powerful stretch, plus they could have relaxed. After all, they had a 2-goal advantage, and it seemed clear that Atletico would push forward in the end. That's their strong point. Yet we still found ourselves unprepared. The problem in such moments is that Barca cannot kill the game with possession. They repeatedly try to start the attack as quickly as possible, making hasty passes. As a result, they fail to complete at least 3-4 accurate passes, leading to turnovers. Bring back Busquets and Messi. A good piece of advice for Flick and Barcelona after the match came from reliever journalist Albert Blaya. Flick's Barca is so faithful to its idea that even with a score of 4-3 in the 94th minute, when others would try to maintain the result, the team held the offside line as if its defenders still had the freshness of the 7th minute. Koundé made a mistake by sleeping while watching the ball instead of the attacker, and Barca died in its own way. It's poetic and fitting, but to win trophies, sometimes you need to be more flexible. Just for a moment, and a little less yourself to prevent the opponent from getting what they want. That's why in the Super Cup or against Sevilla, even with only 10 men, Barca defended better than ever. This Barca can win everything, yet at the same time it can lose everything in an instant. This match serves as a mirror of who you are and who you aspire to be. Sometimes Barcelona really needs to be a more pragmatic team, especially when it comes to the last minutes of the match. In the end, we have to thank the team for this phenomenal game, and we really believe that after the loss and now the draw at Wanda Metropolitana in the return leg, we are finally due a victory over Atlético this season. We have worked hard for a win. Enough with Simeone's deals with the devil. CULES, like if you found our match analysis interesting, comment where you cheer for Barcelona and watch our channel. And subscribe, there's more exciting content ahead. This was the CULES channel, love Barcelona and Visca el Barça.